Today in the crypto space, we see the market taking a bit of a dip, Bitcoin below the $69,000 level, Ethereum showing a little bit of strength, however, still hovering around 2,700, and the rest of the crypto space, these altcoins are also coming down to much lower levels. We have Near Protocol, Ondo, Trump, Jupiter, Radium, and many others, including Solana, coming down to lower levels. And of course, today, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about Solana. What is going on with Sol? What's up with the FUD? What's up with the price? So you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's analyze the charts and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome on the channel. We talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunity. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here, because we can see things are heating up. Things are heating up in this space, and it's not necessarily for for a bullish move or anything. It's just heating up because people are finally waking up. You know, the education has cost a lot of money for a lot of people. And of course, we have to pay tuition fees. A lot of the times, the best lessons learned are ones that, cost a little bit, whether it be, actual economy, money, and or time, or much other things. We pay our tuition fees in different ways. However, guys, at this current moment, I think the biggest lesson learned at the current moment is stop gambling with your hard-earned money. And we have to be looking for projects that have decent fundamentals. This is something that I've been speaking about for the last couple of weeks, actually a few weeks, saying that, it's time to see the fundamentals take charge. We want to see projects that have value, that bring a value proposition to the market, and that ultimately show the industry and the industry professionals, the devs and everybody, that this marketplace has opportunity, and from a capitalistic perspective, giving them an opportunity to earn a living as well. And this is very important in healthy markets. We think that crypto is just an emerging market that, is a bottomless pit of capital, all kinds of capital come in. But the reality is we've seen that the $3.3 trillion mark as far as market cap has been a top for a good while, suggesting that the market in place in general, this industry, is struggling to bring in fresh investors. And that tells you something else, that it's right now, it is not healthy. And the reason why it's not healthy is because these fresh investors see this space as a complete casino. And when you see casino and you see that the house always wins, believe it or not, the cabal is always winning. And this is the education that we've finally came around to, is realizing, guys, we got to bring it back to basics, and we got to get back to the tech and all to the fundamentals. And obviously the market will recuperate, and obviously all wounds will be healed, but it will take a bit of time. I don't think it's going to take too much time, but it will take a bit of time. We do see that as of now, a lot of people are flooding Solana, and this is why I want to talk about Solana today, because it is the home to a lot of meme coins. Let's give it that. We know that's the case, and people are flooding it because they're associating the meme coin culture and the meme coins themselves to the Solana blockchain, which is not really fair, to be honest. Because what about if it was another project? And a lot of people do not know the previous cycle, don't remember, or maybe don't remember the previous cycle, or don't realize that the previous cycle did have a Solana before it, right? And it was Binance Smart Chain. Now, it didn't have as much volume, and of course, we didn't have the launch pads that pumped out funds back in those days, but we did have a meme coin culture that was small and slowly flourished and grew to something that was definitely far exceeding many expectations, and Solana was the chain that brought it to us. Now, is it Solana's Solana's fault? Absolutely not. Is the tech still valid? 100% the tech is still valid. Could Solana have done something, not in a decentralized way that I can think of? Of course, engineers come up with software solutions all the time that we don't think of. And of course, it could still be the case. However, Solana being a heavyweight in this space, as far as speed and obviously low gas fees, it was the perfect recipe for a meme coin culture to flourish. And that is exactly what happened. If it wasn't going to be Solana, it was Binance Smart Chain. If it wasn't going to be Solana, it would have been, some other narrative, or an L1, a SUI, and so on, right? And this is the thing that we have to understand. It's not a Solana problem. This is a culture problem. The reality is that this is potentially a criminal problem. This is not a good scenario for the crypto space. We have new capital flowing in and then getting burnt, feeding the cabal, and then all of a sudden they leave the space very, very unhappy, and they go and spread the word that crypto and the marketplace of crypto is a scam. Not a good thing, because we are seeing the total market cap not attracting any fresh new capital. Very, very unfortunate. Okay, so I expect the tides to turn very, very soon as more and more people are done paying their tuition fees and realizing that gambling in any markets is not worth it. Yes, you could win. You might win once, you might win twice, but overall, it's not a sustainable thing to expect to keep on winning and winning and winning. Okay, guys, so we got to get back to basics. And I can see that trading volume did rise while the market cap is rolling over. So at this current moment, we do see Solana down 6%, but we are ignoring the fact that the rest of the market is also coming down, and it is clear that the market cap is also coming down. It's not just Solana taking a hit, and of course it is getting that FUD, so it's taking a bigger hit than the rest, but it's still not even that bad considering this is a market-wide dip, not just a Solana dip. And I'll show you. You can see it based on total market cap. It's rolling over right here with volume and consensus. Okay, so consider that. Bitcoin is also rolling over. 1.5% is significant for a Bitcoin dip, right? It is a Bitcoin dip at 1.5%. Ethereum showing strength because people are rotating out of Solana and looking for, Ethereum, the OG. This is the indication that people are looking for, a conservative approach once again, which is, getting back to the Ethereum blockchain that has been there for us, of course, sideways and bearish and not looking so great while Solana took the limelight. However, Ethereum's still there. Now, in the meantime, while Solana is recuperating from all of this, guys, just keep in mind, Solana could get into a severely undervalued scenario. And I do not believe that Solana is done. I believe that Solana is still going to be a very strong contender within the altcoin market. In fact, I still feel that based on its fundamentals, it could definitely still outperform and flip Ethereum. The problem here is that this FUD and the use case of Solana has been primarily meme coins, whereas Ethereum still has its meme coins, no doubt, but the majority of Ethereum's ecosystem still belongs to DeFi and many other good projects that have, again, strong fundamentals. So this is what we have to be able to distinguish, is the differences and similarities of both these chains. And the reality is they're just blockchains. The tokens or the projects being built on them are not a true representation of the L1 themselves. Solana, as you can see, down 6.2%. BNB is also down 2%, but BNB has been a beast and it's been sideways even despite all kinds of negativity. So across the market. So we can see that BNB is on a different wavelength altogether. Cardano's doing pretty good, 4.4% to the upside. We have some heavyweights in the social media space calling Cardano that it's going to be a good gainer, but we forget that Cardano's also, pretty fast and pretty cheap. But why couldn't meme coins also be deployed on Cardano? There's no resistance there for that to happen whatsoever. So let's just, be real. Cardano's a next contender. Sure, I'm bullish on Cardano. I like Cardano. I like all kinds of L1s, a lot of all kinds of projects. The reality is we stick to fundamentals. You do know that Cardano's pretty decent anyway. Chainlink's looking okay, going sideways, but we have others like SUI. Why is SUI rolling over? Right, this is the problem, right? Why Sui's another fast blockchain with some meme coins on it. They're all down as well, but no one's really, negative on Sui. But Sui right now is 3% to the downside, and we have a lot of other dips, 3.7% here on Hyperliquid. Why is Hype pulling back that way? And we keep on going out. You can see that generally speaking, this is a market-wide type of dip, and it's not even that big. So let's be real about that as well. Ondo, what's wrong with Ondo? It's down 6%. There's no meme coins on Ondo, right? Near Protocol, another 7%. There's no meme coins on here. The market is dipping, and we have to understand that some will dip more than others. And then you have Trump, another big meme coin that cause a lot of these problems. And the reason why I call them problems is because a lot of the meme coins in the last little while have been deployed by heavyweight individuals, presidents, and so on. Trump being one, and then of course the other one just lately being the president of Argentina, basically posting or supporting, whether he understood or did, it doesn't matter at this point. He supported something that he didn't understand, which means that he shouldn't have done it anyway. So he supported this, and obviously Javier Milei launched a meme coin with the help of this dude right here that basically incriminated himself, basically saying that he did market manipulation. He's in full custody of millions, over $100 million worth of equity of people's capital, unfortunately. And this is basically the issue here, and you can see how it pumped and went right back down. Now, it's not just this project, the Libra project. All the meme coins in the last little while have been orchestrated and conducted by individuals like this, and these individuals run a group of influential social media platforms, and ultimately they use that influence to gather liquidity, suck in all the liquidity. Obviously, with that liquidity, they buy themselves their Lambos. Instead of yourself buying a Lambo, you're buying them a Lambo. And then all of a sudden, we understand that the total market cap, again, is still at $3 trillion, not moving whatsoever. So we know where the capital is going. The capital is going to feed the cabal. Guys, this is where we're at right now. So again, we have to understand that this is the time where we're getting educated on where we should be putting our capital. And hopefully, we can learn from one another. Join the Discord, guys. It's a great community. We're there to support one another, there to speculate on different opportunities, and of course get each other's back when we see things that are not looking good. And I've been talking about this with the community for the last 3 weeks, saying, guys, it's enough is enough. It looks bad, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. So guys, if you can exit on some profit, if you can exit at break even if you can exit on a small loss, guys, it's not a bad idea. Get into some good fundamentals while the market kind of corrects itself. Look at Jupiter, down 7.4%, of course, part of the Solana ecosystem. But then you have Sonic, guys, something that I've been talking about. I know Sonic retraced as well, pretty hard, but at least we know that Sonic's fundamentals are there to stay. It's up 30% in the last 7 days, right? And we know, again, that if the price chart goes down, we still know that there's a team behind it, right? There's developers behind it. Those developers have families. Those developers have livelihoods that they're trying to earn through development. And this is what we have to understand. There's stakeholders that are not just putting capital in, but time and effort and careers on the line. And that is something that I rather put value in than, an icon or a meme coin or a meme, right? That's something you got to consider. So I think that, like many other projects, Sonic right now is severely undervalued, and it definitely is a good contender to bring speed, low gas fees, EVM compatibility, and much, much more to the space. And again, as we go down, we see lots of rollovers, not so much positivity. Stake so of course rolling over, BNB stake so. We have Radium also rolling over based on that same narrative. Bonk, a meme coin ish, and it's definitely rolling over. And again, more and more and more. So the market definitely showing weakness across many L1s and many different projects, but it's not even that bad, guys. So let's chill out. Let's basically reposition ourselves, rethink about our strategies here. We're not in it to get rich quick. We're in it to DCA right now into undervalued opportunities from a position of strength. All right, guys, let's get right into some of these charts. I know you're to talk about price action. Let's take a look at what's going on here with Bitcoin, because ultimately Bitcoin is the leading indicator. What's going on? You can see Bitcoin has been dipping. And because of this dip, and because Solana is dipping, we are seeing two big, strong projects, including Sui, dipping, and we conclude that it's a Solana problem. This is not a Solana problem. This is a cryptocurrency problem. As you can see, Bitcoin is also dipping and falling to critical levels of support on the lower time frames. Let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. So obviously here on the daily, nothing has changed. We're still in structure. Unfortunately, we're still here going sideways right around the $97,000, $96,000 area. Point of control is here. Lots of volume, lots of market participation, relatively speaking. Okay, so there's nothing to say here. We're not oversold. We look like we want to get oversold. We're kind of like bouncing around here. We did a quick Uno reverse here on volatility. It does look like it wants to get oversold. We might get another push to the downside. And again, it's not Solana's fault, right? This is a market-wide issue. So 4 hour, if you keep on going down and you start to see what's going on in the 4-hour, we are at a desperate place for support also. You can see that we hit some bottoms. We've potentially need to stay up above this zone. If we can stay above, I would say $95,400, we're still okay. But then again, I know what the bears are going to say. They're going to say, you know what, that's a bear flag. It's hunt liquidity. Let's get going. Let's come down to much more critical levels where we know we can hunt that liquidity, which is at about 92. Maybe even slightly lower. So right around 92, 91,000 is the next level of support. If we cannot hold that support, Bitcoin, the rest of the market, the total market cap, altcoins, everything will slowly drip and bleed out. And if that's the cost of educating our market to get a reset and a fresh start here for a proper altcoin season, or even a proper bull run, because this is not even that proper at the current moment, it could be a good fee to pay in the meantime. Why? Because the recovery might be absolutely epic. Imagine being able to come down to slightly lower levels. Again, I'm not going to get into bearish targets because you guys know if we fall through this level, who knows how low we go, guys. We have an empty volume gap, a fair value gap that can cause the price to come right back down to a good order block, right it down into here for support, and even hunt some of its liquidity, guys. I'm not going to hide that from you. This is definitely still possible, and I'm going to entertain that possibility as long as we are hesitating going sideways. However, I am not going to miss out on the opportunity to accumulate as well as into this level, little by little, DCA and on some good projects, because what if we break out? And that's possible as well. It's all about probability, and as long as we're holding these horizontals, we're still good. I'll worry about the negativity once we break below 92, which we have a lot of work to do still. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind. Bitcoin right now showing a bit of weakness. Now, how does this translate into the altcoins? Number one, we're seeing meme coins totally losing its footing. Meme coins right now, you know, a lot of people are worried about their bags, and a lot of people had high hopes for meme coins that we're going to get a super cycle, this and that, not realizing that it would be sacrificing the backbone of this space, which is primarily DeFi, right? Reality is that if you look into the whole saga behind the latest meme coins, Jupiter has been slightly involved into this mess. This is why its price is also rolling over, because ultimately it is the home where all the liquidity lies, and including radium. So we have to understand that there's an implication into these ecosystems when you are basically engaging in a pump and dump scheme. So we have to understand that it's going to take some time for the market to kind of heal itself. But in the meantime, guys, there's no way that I will not be buying Solana at lower levels. Let's take a look at its price target and its action, what it's been doing in the last little bit. Let's quickly go on the daily. So keep it in mind that, Solana is basically doubling down on negativity coupled with FUD and the Bitcoin price action. Okay, so it's two forces right now going against Solana, and it's in the total market cap, of course. As you guys know, it's kind of rolling over a little bit. So what happens to Sol? The reality is that Sol is in a great level for support. Now, if it doesn't hold support, we're going to get a lot of emotion. And the reason why I say that is because you can see this order block right here is pretty thick. We got a lot of market participation in here. We got a bit of volume, a pretty decent node of volume in comparison to the rest, right? It's slightly bigger, as you can see, even the price action. So what about if we break below this level, which is at 177, maybe 175 to make it a nice round number? If it breaks below $175, it's not a good look, guys. It's not a good look. We're going to go and hunt all this liquidity, right? It's likely to capitulate a couple of these people. Stop losses getting hit. People exiting their bags on losses. People just saying, you know what, I'm going to break even, I'm out. And then we start to see a lot of that negativity, that slow drip. So we have a couple of things to keep an eye on. Number one, the 200 daily. 200 daily, the orange line is looking really nice there. That's fine. It's trailing up. We could see this price action come down here, tag it, maybe fall below it slightly, get a couple people wrecked because they use the 200 daily religiously on a trend as a trend indicator. Then all of a sudden right back up and continue to the upside. Still bullish, right? No doubt. But of course, how long is that going to take? Obviously, this timing, my artwork doesn't consider timing. I'm just hypothetically saying that we could come down and look for some support right around this level. Okay, that's not a bad scenario. However, guys, we have to understand that's going to be a painful thing, because again, look at the volume. There's people here that bought in, that are in the green, that thought that we're going to get a bull run. Why? Because we got into price discovery very slightly here. We identified the bearish divergence. I made it very clear with this bearish divergence as well. And then all of a sudden, we're back to lower levels. Now, we did not get any rounded bottoms, suggesting that maybe we're getting into an accumulation range, right? True accumulation looks something like this. I'm going to get in lower time frames. Let's go on the daily real quick. You can see nice accumulation gets nicely rounded bottoms. Those are the accumulation ranges that I prefer, right? Now, quick spikes to the downside, they look like drips. Rounded tops, drip, right? And then we get dead cat bounce. Now, this is not so round. It's a bit of an expansion, and then we come back down. Now, do we get another dead cat bound, a rounded one, and then come down, and and then we start looking at it, inverse head and shoulders, this and that, and then we start looking for lower levels. Is that all possible? Guys, it's not possible until we break 175,000. That's basically what I'm trying to say. We can't front run any of this because this could still act as support. If it does not act as support at 175, guys, we're coming down, and what we have to do is wait and be patient to see how much strength the bears have in them to cause this price to come lower, and then finally look for the pivot point structure once we get oversold. Now, do we get oversold on the daily? Do we get sold on the 4-hour? When do we start getting in? Let's take a look at some of these oscillators to see the possible oversold conditions. Look, we're not even completely oversold here, and we're still falling. I can see a bit of a mean reversion happening right here. A reversion play would be great. A bit of a bounce, get back above the 200, the moving average, maybe touch the moving average, and then roll over and get oversold. The oversold state is down here. Let's be real, okay, guys? We could still come down here and really induce some pain, especially after the divergence. You can see that we're making lower highs here and higher highs on the price action. That would have been class A bearish divergence, something that we did identify quite early. The expansion to the downside is coming back. As you can see, look at this spike straight down and a Uno reverse right into here, suggesting that, again, people believe in this FUD and are right now, not very happy with the Solana ecosystem. And it could be just not that it's happy. The market is just fearful that Solana, might be scrutinized for its implications on meme coins. Okay, so understand that. Now, if we look at the trend oscillator, EMAs are facing down with red histogram bars, which means that, yes, the negativity is still here, guys. We're in the bearish control zone. EMAs are down, expansions to the downside. I'm not crazy about that either. So we have the possibility of a further breakdown. And now that we've seen that, let's quickly go on the 4-hour. And you can see the 4-hour is desperate right now for that support right around here. Let me just quickly show you all these little bottoms. We're at a desperate level right here for support. So if it holds support, maybe a bit of a wick, this is not a bad DCA or a buy opportunity. I would consider getting in with 25% of your capital here on this dip, just in case we get even a dead cat bounce, because you can trade the dead cat bounce. But if you start measuring from the top, more or less, right, from the divergence all the way to where we are right now, that's a 35% discount. Okay, it's not bad of a discount, guys. Okay, we could definitely flag out here for that bull flag and fulfill that big cup and handle that we always look for, right? So this is something that's quite interesting, because this is a zone that was once a weak spot with the volume gap, that it got filled up real quick. So I'm gonna have to remove it. It's no longer a weak spot, and this is no longer an area of interest. What I would say the area of interest right now for me is where we are right now. This is it. Okay, and I'm going to make this thicker. I'm going to highlight the importance of this zone. Guys, if we break below, just consider yourself a defensive trader at that point. And obviously, wait for a support zone so that you can get offensive. Now, if you look at the 4-hour, we are definitely oversold right now. Okay, so we've gotten oversold before. We didn't go overbought. We bounced, got rejected on the chop zone because of the negativity, and came back down to oversold conditions. How long do we actually take to actually get overbought and get a nice proper bullish response? We got to wait, guys. Right now, the bears are in full force. The bears are taking full advantage, of course, of market conditions. Like I mentioned, even total and Bitcoin is falling, and coupled with the FUD on Sol, things are not looking good. Okay, so you have to understand that when there's blood on the streets, it's usually the best time to get involved, right? That's when, the opportunities come. I remember when people called Solana dead during the FTX issues, right, all the way down here. And I was probably one of the few individuals that was accumulating all the way down here. And it was probably the best thing that I've ever done, was accumulate, right? And the reality is, okay, if we even come down to 120, I'll give some of my gains back, but all good. But you cannot deny the fact that Solana itself has nothing really to do with these memes. They're projects that are deployed without permission. Anybody can deploy any project they want on Solana. It's not like they signed up to become the the meme coin capital. The reality is it was the perfect time, the perfect place for Solana to be, and the market took advantage of the opportunity and made it the hub for meme coins. Okay, guys, so just keep in mind, Solana is still there. No matter how undervalued it becomes, it is still a chain to consider a good gainer for this remainder of the cycle. All right, guys, if I've offered you any value here, do the channel a massive favor, slap the like button, do the channel a huge favor. Of course, it does a great job for the algorithm. And if you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.